What up, YouTube? It's your boy Big Cool coming to you from Big Cool Entertainment with another video on The Walking Dead. This will be a reaction video slash review, if that's what you want to call it. Tonight's episode was crazy. It was great from the beginning to the end. You had Rick Michonne back in the fold. After last week's episode that didn't include those two, as well as Daryl, Sasha, and Abraham and Glenn. But tonight's episode was awesome. It was great. I mean, it played with your emotions. You were excited, you were anxious, you were nervous, and then by the end you were sad. It kind of left us on a cliffhanger, and just to go in it, if you haven't seen this video, if you haven't seen tonight's episode, warning, what I'm about to say um, is a spoiler for those who haven't seen tonight's episode of The Walking Dead. It appears that Glenn has been killed by the herd of walkers. Him and Nicholas, were trying to find a building, I believe, to set on fire to distract the walkers, so they can get a clear path back to Alexandria. That didn't happen. Plans went array, and you know they ended up in an alley surrounded by tons of walkers. They tried shooting, stabbing them, but it just didn't work. So they got on top of a dumpster, and Nicholas, from obviously feeling guilt and shame for what he done last season, in terms of being the reason why Noah was killed by some walkers. Shooting Glenn, trying to luring him in the woods and killing him, trying to kill him, fighting him, just being a horrible guy. He was hallucinating, having panic attacks, and he decided to end it all. He turned to Glenn, said thank you, before shooting himself in the head. And Glenn, once you already know, once somebody, shoots themselves or just get shot lifeless, dead weight, and it appears that Glenn either tried to catch him or Nicholas, now dead body, just fell towards Glenn, knocking him off the dumpster to maybe his untimely demise. It appeared that the walkers started ripping out Glenn's upper intestines, and he was screaming in pain. But I was watching The Talking Dead, and the show's producer Scott Gimple. He put out a statement. I'm not gonna be able to quote it word for word, but basically all he said is that we haven't seen the last of Glenn. We'll see him in parts, whether in a flashback or in the current story to close the story. Glenn was one of my favorite characters. I didn't want him to die. I knew that his time could be coming up, but I didn't think it would be happening this soon. As you all know, for people who follow the Walking Dead comic books, Negan, kills Glenn with a baseball bat. And like I said, man, the tone of my voice is like, it's kind of depressing because you grow with these characters over the years, and this show is terrific. I love the show, and Glenn has always been one of my favorite characters. He's the only character in the history of The Walking Dead who hasn't killed a human being. He was known for giving second chances, and pretty much was a great guy. I don't want to make it too much about him because I'll make my his own personal video later on this week. But it appears that Glenn has died. And we'll wait to see though. Because like I said, Scott Gimple said we'll either see Glenn in the flashback or in the current story to finish out his time on The Walking Dead. But whether he died tonight or not, it seems like his time is up whenever at some point, during season 6. But to the rest of the episode, Rick was back. Rick was back at it. He killed 2 wolves. Some of the wolves that Morgan let go in last episode. They tried to, shoot at Rick. Rick, fought them off and shot both of them in the head. Rick also killed, I don't know if they were wolves or just some people that were, stragglers that was trying to, just find a safe haven. He shot it up with a machine gun, shot the side of the RV up and killing, I think it was 3 people. a teenage girl or a woman and two men. Just Rick was just ruthless. And that's where his mind state is. In this season and at this point in life in the zombie apocalypse. You had Heath and Michonne, in a group with Glenn and Nicholas and what's his name? I don't know the other people's name, but they were all in the game. I know they were Alexandrians. They came up in the woods against some walkers. They proceeded to kill some. One of the guys from Alexandria was scared and he accidentally shot the black guy. I don't know his name. Almost getting him killed. One guy, I think his name was David. Yeah, David, big tall white guy, got bit on the neck or on the back by a walker. They didn't put him down. They got to a little convenience store, barricaded themselves in, tried to wait till the herd of zombies passed, but it was a zombie in there making noise. Michonne killed two of them, and it just brought the attention to the store, so they bust through, killing as many as they could. They lost one of the females with them along the way, and pretty much, I mean, it was a great episode. I'm gonna give you a better breakdown and review of it, but my thoughts are kind of scattered right now because so much went on. You had Heath and Michonne not really at odds, but obviously he felt some type of way because he's close with his friends and listening to Rick saying that maybe they will have to leave somebody behind had him thinking like this the type of things that these people do. But Michonne guaranteed him and made it clear that you know Rick is coming from a place of he's a good guy, good hearted person, but he's been in his world since the beginning. He's had to make some tough decisions, and he knows what he's talking about. And that he has to understand that. Michonne asked him, "Have you ever been covered in so much blood that you didn't know if it was yours, a Walker, or your friends?" And he didn't realize that. But later on in the episode, he did realize that and come to the understanding of what she meant by that. Because as they was carrying the friend through the water, he stopped to look down in the in the muddy water, and he could see his face covered in blood. And at that instant, it went off like she's exactly right. She's not lying about nothing she's saying, and sometimes tough decisions had to be made. And that was pretty much it. You didn't see Carl or anybody in this episode. But like I said, it was a man. This episode played with your emotions. It really did. Um, what we presume to be Glenn's final episode, which is kind of disheartening, man. I mean, he was one of my favorite, probably top 3, 4 favorite characters on the show. Great guy, and portrayed by Steve Ewan. Probably pronounced his last name wrong. Very well, and I'm in a group on Facebook, and there's a lot of people taking it hard. Some people in denial. Some people don't want to believe that it happened. But you know what I'm saying? It was a great episode, well acted, well written. And next week's episode will be a 90-minute episode uh, based solely off of Morgan, his flashback episode. People have been craving that to see how it become that he had his new outlook on this whole zombie apocalypse, because he was all about killing, but now he believes that everybody has a chance, everybody should have a chance to survive and live. And we're gonna see hopefully how his son died. We know he told the story to Rick about how his ex-wife killed their son, but hopefully we get a visual of it, and also how he was taught by to use the stick that he uses, and what really swayed his mind state. But like I said, if I had to give a rating to tonight's episode, I would give it a 10 out of 10. It was a great episode from beginning to end. A lot of killing, a lot of great scenes with some great actresses and actors. And like I said, I'm looking forward to next week's episode. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you thought about this episode. Do you really believe Glenn is dead? Will this affect the way that you look at The Walking Dead, from this point forward? Because I know a lot of people say if certain characters die, they ride or they won't no longer watch the show. But just like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this channel, share the video, tell a friend to like Big Cool Entertainment. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.